Code members, are you ready? It's time for the Green Mask. The home of all things nerdy.
So I wanted to do this little addendum to the podcast. One, to talk about the recent lawsuit against Wizards of the Coast with Magic the Gathering, and also to show off the shiny new intro. So, as I was editing the Magic podcast, I was getting notifications about the lawsuit against Wizards of the Coast and Hasbro, the parent company. The lawsuit is from the investors against Hazard and Watsy for printing too many sets of Magic, which is one of the things we talked about, just burnout, just too many sets coming. And on top of it, printing them too much, leading to a massive fall in demand for the cards, leading to a bunch of them sitting on shelves, which I'll attest to. The past few times I've been to the game shop, there has been set after set just stacked on the wall. No one's buying it. They'll buy like one or two packs just to see if there's anything in it, but like nobody's really buying it, especially the sealed stuff. Now, in the past, Wizards has had a history of overprinting. Me and Bear had a conversation one time, and I had to show him some proof on it, that they will keep printing a set way after they claim it's stopped being printed just because the demand for it is still there. So they're like, well, if people still want it, we'll sell it. And a good point of that would be last year, people were finding brand new, like mint condition. There's no way these have just been sitting somewhere for months or years in a back shelf of a store somewhere. They would have been dusty at least. No, these were like brand new shrink wrapping on it, just Fate Reforged. Just no reason that should be in stores in 2025. That set is 10 years old now. So it shows that at the very least they kept the print run going for a couple of years, because there's no other reason to explain why older sets are still popping up in stores brand new from Hasbro. Now, how it might affect the future of the game is, especially with the lawsuit, one, the overprinting has already affected the game itself. No one's really all that interested in the newer stuff. I mean, there's some interest, especially with them hitting IPs that people like. Personally, I really love Spider-Man, and they hit home with that one, but for me, the set itself was just not great. There was a couple of really cool cards in it. I liked some of the artworks, but beyond that, it was just like, eh. The set itself wasn't that great. And I think with the lawsuit, it's going to affect... I think Wizards is going to have to take a step back and stop printing as many sets a year, and it's going to have to go back to the way it was, in my eyes, the golden era of Magic, about, I don't know, 2010 to 2015 maybe. Maybe a little later after that. I would say like Theros to, I don't know, War of the Spark. That was like the golden era in my eyes. And I think they're going to have to go back to that, where they're only printing a certain number of sets a year, and they're not overprinting them to death, even though I know that they're going to overprint it, especially when they see that people's going to want it. They're going to overprint it. Uh, but I think they're going to have to go back to that. Otherwise, the investor's going to pull out and there's not going to be the money there for them to continue to do this stuff. Especially with the decline in sales because of the fatigue of the sets. I definitely feel like they're going to need to do something, or the game is definitely dead, which, as much as it seems like I don't want that. I've been playing this game way too long to just watch it roll over and die. It's been such a good game as long as I've been alive and longer. So, uh, and one thing I wanted to touch on that we didn't get to in the podcast because Goatman kind of blanked out on it. The reserve list. Now, every couple of years, people are saying, oh, they're getting rid of the reserve list, they're getting rid of the reserve list, sell your cards, and then the reserve list doesn't go away and it shoots up. We're looking at you, Alpha Investments. I personally have a few cards off of the reserve list that I use in decks. Like, I don't buy them for the sake of hoarding them or with the intent of reselling them later. I'm actually using them. And I have watched what I was looking at 40, 50, 80, 100, random prices in the big dollar amounts that I spent on these cards, and I've watched those tank recently. And it's due to the fall in the interest in the game because of the overprinting, because of the sets falling off very hard. And this is going to go back to the last lawsuit that Wizards got hit with, which is the 30th anniversary set, where they took and reprinted, even though not tournament legal cards, still it will affect the collector's value. They reprinted a bunch of reserve list cards, Power 9, stuff like that they are like sworn to never reprint. And they reprinted it. And investors hit them with a lawsuit then. And even in that lawsuit, they talked about the overprinting of cards, especially when it's a card that should not be reprinted. And I've watched the prices been falling. Like, some of your staple cards have stayed about the same. But then you get to the weird cards. One that in particular I can think of is like Empress Galena. I bought her at like $40 and she tanked down to under 10. She's like $7. And I thought that was ridiculous, but that's just, I guess, how the game's going. Ultimately, I think Wizards needs to change. I think they need to cut it back. I think they need to fix Standard, which Standard is already a fire pit just burning away. But fix that with your rotations. We want the three set blocks back, or the 4 in the case of the Lorwyn block. We want 3 set blocks back. We want the sets to be less fluff and more actual playable cards. At least from a player standpoint. From a collector standpoint, I'm sure they want more of the blockbuster 1-of-1 cards, but I don't. Those aren't playable cards, and I'm here to play the game. I want it to be as good as it used to be. Like I said, I've been playing this game the majority of my life. I started in 2001. I did take some breaks. I took breaks in between Alara. Actually, in the middle of Alara. I actually stopped playing before Conflux. I stopped before Conflux. And I started back around the end of Theros block at the beginning of Khans of Tarkir. And then I took another break after War of the Spark, and I'm just recently coming back. There was other smaller breaks in between there, but we're not counting those. So I've been playing this game a long time. I want to see it continue to go on. I really hope that they fix their problems, and I do seem like a smart ass who wants the game to die on Twitter, but that's just my persona. I genuinely do love the game. I love playing the game. Sometimes I collect, not so much, because I want to open the cards and play them, but that's my thoughts on it. Let me know what you guys think about it, but yeah, that's it.
Don't forget to like and subscribe for more. No episodes every month.